Iconic restaurant companies like Burger King and TGI Fridays are going out of business because they can't make a profit. Will your neighbourhood eatery close this year? To streamline operations and reduce expenses, dozens of US restaurant businesses are closing down sites across the nation. Even though contemporary companies like Chick-fil-A and Sweetgreen have successfully seized significant portions of the US restaurant business, the COVID pandemic and labour shortages have caused irreparable harm to several legacy establishments. Let's see some of the food franchises that are seriously in trouble. 1. Applebee's. Since 2016, Applebee's has closed almost 300 locations. Despite having previously stated that I hope to eventually grow in 2023, it now appears that these ambitions have changed. The company's president, Tony Morihalo, stated in an earnings call at the beginning of March that opening new stores and restaurants would be difficult and expensive. The chain had 1,569 restaurants overall at the end of 2022, after closing 13 and opening 4 new US locations. It has not been without controversy. Last year, a franchise owner suggested citing inflation as a justification for lowering worker compensation, which drew criticism. The restaurant was also forced to issue an apology after airing a humorous advertisement during live coverage of the invasion of Ukraine. 2. Boston Market. Boston Market is presently down to roughly 330 restaurants in the US, down from its peak of around 1,200 sites in the 1990s. The restaurant was once well known for offering rotisserie chicken, but now that the food is widely available in supermarkets, its place in the market is in doubt. According to Insider, in 2021, a lack of staff put pressure on them and caused a walkout, which caused 10% of all stores to close. CEO Francis Allen at the time wrote in a letter, "We must take steps to ensure our operational structure will support long-term sustainability. In order to determine the location's continued viability, we regularly analyze our geographic footprint and real estate portfolio." Boston Market is facing an increasing number of lawsuits from unpaid vendors and former employees as of August 2023. The new owner has run the business into the ground, according to statements from both current and former Boston Market executives, and it's just a matter of time before the chain fully disappears. 3. Buffalo Wild Wings. Despite being well liked, this chicken restaurant and sports bar has also been closing locations, but it has kept over 1,000 across the nation. Data from the beginning of March from Scrape Hero shows that the company presently has 1,234 locations, down about 45 from the 1,279 it had in November 2020. However, compared to other restaurants whose operations have decreased, that is a relatively tiny adjustment. In the past year, locations have closed in Colorado, Illinois, Florida, and Virginia. With its witty reaction to a spurious $9 million lawsuit filed by a customer irate that the boneless wings on the menu weren't actually wings, the company grabbled headlines this year. Buffalo Wild Wings, a privately held restaurant company, has shut down all of its locations in Canada and is leaving the country. The American business announced in a written statement that it has made the difficult decision to close our sports bars in Canada because of dwindling revenues. As of May 11, there were only 5 Buffalo Wild Wings stores left in Ontario after discreetly closing a number of them. Anyone having a gift card purchase in Canada is being given the chance to exchange it for a prepaid MasterCard of an identical value, according to the business. The stock of Buffalo Wild Wings is not exchanged publicly. 4. Burger King. Burger King, formerly the second largest burger company in the US, announced it will fire 424 employees as it prepares to close 26 locations, mostly in the Detroit region. As the chain closes its doors owing to unforeseen business circumstances, store closings started on March 17 and will go on through next month. It started. The declaration came shortly after Tom's King Holdings, a significant Burger King franchisee, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in January. Previously regarded as one of the top Burger King franchises in North America, it declared bankruptcy in 2018 and stated it would close 90 of its sites in Pennsylvania, Virginia, Ohio, and Illinois. Burger King may be one of the most well-known burger companies in the world, but even its widespread fame and notoriety haven't kept it from experiencing some financial difficulties in recent years. It was surpassed by Wendy's to become the nation's second-largest burger franchisee in 2020. Burger King's sales and traffic then fell behind as other fast food companies began to return to their pre-pandemic levels from the previous year. Due to a massive $400 million investment effort focused on enhancing its brand and restaurants, the burger juggernaut has been showing some signs of recovery in its financial predicament this year. The chain outperformed analyst expectations in the first quarter of 2023, increasing the same-store sales by 8.7% in the US and 12.3% globally. To regain ground in the burger wars and up its game against formidable competitors like McDonald's and Wendy's, Burger King still has a ways to go. There are a few factors contributing to Burger King's persistent problems, but the main one might be its problems with the well-being and success of its franchisees. 5. Cracker Barrel. One couple, who happened to meet in a Cracker Barrel in 2020, loved the place so much that they got engaged there a year later. However, the chain stated that it will be closing 3 locations, so it will no longer be present in the Oregon region around Portland. A spokeswoman said, "We are saddened that we are unable to overcome the impact the pandemic had in our business, and that is why we have decided to close the Beaverton, Tualatin, and Bend locations." It closed a second location in Oregon in December. Employees told local TV station KGW8 that the closure was actually prompted by safety concerns, despite the company's initial claims that it was simply the result of subpar performance. Despite these recent closures, Cracker Barrel aims it can add more than a dozen locations by the end of the year to its existing total of about 665. As the second big business to completely leave the region this year, Cracker Barrel has opted to close its final outlets close to Portland, Oregon. On March 20, the eatery closed locations in Beaverton and Tualatin. About 3.5 hours drive from the Portland, a third store in Bend also closed. Walmart had previously declared that it would close its final locations in Portland. Although reports suggest theft also played a part, the business cited an inability to achieve financial expectations as the cause. 6. Denny's. Denny's has more than 1,600 locations in the US as of 2017, but Statista data shows that number would drop to 1,445 by 2022. After the pandemic hit, running those restaurant locations got harder and harder since the chain had staffing problems. Even Kanye West swing by for lunch following Saints soccer game couldn't turn things around. In August, a video of 2 customers going to assist a lone Denny's employee in the kitchen went viral due to the restaurant's severe staffing shortage. According to MASH, 5 additional Denny's outlets closed last September. Local stores in New York, Connecticut, Portland, and North and South Carolina were also forced to close as a result of a lawsuit. In response to the coronavirus outbreak, Denny's will permanently close 15 locations in New York and lay off 524 staff members. According to warnings submitted in the state of New York, the closures can be linked to unexpected business circumstances prompted by COVID-19. Feast American Diners, a franchisee, ran the closed Denny's restaurants. In 230 sites throughout 10 states, the franchisee runs Denny's, Jack in the Box, and Corner Bakery Cafe. Business Insider asked Denny's and Feast American Diners for comments, but neither company responded right away. A spokeswoman for Feast American Diners informed the local news source CNY Central that some of the closures were caused by disagreements over leases. 7. IHOP. IHOP, an affiliate of Applebee's, likewise seems to be having growth problems. It had an objective of opening around 60 branches the previous year, but it only managed to reach roughly 40 by the end of the year. President Jay Johns stated in March that several of those openings had been positioned until 2023 and that the company will concentrate on remodeling existing buildings rather than developing new ones, according to Restaurant Business. That is how we are overcoming the economic reasons that make it so expensive to construct a building at the moment, according to Johns. IHOP has been in business effectively for almost 64 years, starting in 1958. And despite the pandemic forcing the closure of 200 outlets, it now has more than 1,600 locations spread over all 52 states. And it's still quite popular. 3 months after announcing his acting retirement, Bruce Willis was photographed in an IHOP in Los Angeles last summer. Additionally, 2 inmates who used toothbrushes to escape from a Virginia jail last month were apprehended 9 hours later while eating pancakes at an IHOP 6 miles away. That's all for today. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, bye. Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.